Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So sit back and enjoy as we get these lights put in and get the tailgate where she'll whoop, whoop, open and shut. Okay, let's try to get this wire out of here. Nothing like a little fishing trip, right guys? There you go. So long pliers, yay, the wind. Curl that down so it doesn't get lost. Now, so you got this plug. You got to kind of fish it down through the same hole. The light sits in there like that. And where did it go? Well, I tell you what. I see ya. There we go. Oh, come on. All right, now these screws are specific that go into the backup light and the main tail lamp housing. They have little teeth on them so that you get a good connection. Got to grab all my tools, switch sockets. All right, there we go. So now I can take this, got to get it started. Second bolt, get it going. Use this gasket which is super thin. My originals were gone, so I'm going to have to use the aftermarket ones. You can see this light's got the original gasket in it. It's still all there. It's not super hard. I'm going to use that because like that thing is really thick compared to the aftermarket gasket is super thin. So if they're in good shape, I'm not going to replace them. I come in, I'm using weather strip adhesive right here. Just real fast around that. This stuff sets up quick. Plastic and emblem adhesive. I'm sorry, it's not weather strip gasket material. But this will hold this gasket in there until I can get my lens fastened in. It only goes one way. We get it in, push it, and found on the other side, I just had to wiggle it a little bit. Let that stuff get tacky, and it'll hold it in there right where I need it to be. I want to be able to see my screw holes before I put my lens in. I did buy aftermarket lenses that are brand new and nice and clean. I did not put them in there when I assembled the truck and drove it because I had some pretty decent lenses. Now, these little screws here are special. They did not come with these lenses, so definitely save all your old hardware. So, set this in there, line up our screw holes, and run them in. Don't use an impact because this is plastic. You will break them. Yeah, ask me how I know that. Now, our connection for our tail light here, got the metal tail lamp housing. Your bulb actually stays in that dude. So if this thing is dirty, I've got a battery terminal cleaner, right? If you had a wire brush shaped like that, that works just fine, but you just stick it in, twist it. That'll clean out your housing. Don't use the one you've been using on your corroded batteries though, or else it'll eat that up. That would be bad. So we just do a little bit of cleaning there. Make sure our bulb's going to make good connection. I go ahead and try to fish this bulb back in here. I just took it out, so it should go in easy. Now, on the truck here, I've got two connectors there, or connections for the bulb, and a brass brush. And I just take that brass brush, clean this thing all up. I'm going to take a little bit of this grease for the connector, and I'm going to put that on there. I mean, this is basically just silicone base grease. You can buy it in a large quantity. I was at the parts store. They have it right there at the counter, so I just got some because it's a good habit. It kind of displaces water, helps stop corrosion. I'm putting it back in here now on these little connections in their spring area so that the things will work the way they're supposed to. And I'm going to take a little bit of it and I'm going to put it inside of here so it'll push down inside of that connector. That should give us enough cleanliness and everything else to make this work. And this bad boy, it only fits on here one direction, supposedly. I snap it in place. Now this little rubber boot here, she has got to slide over this metal. That kind of helps seal everything up. And it is a little wonderful piece. It doesn't want to do what you want it to do. you got to fight it a little bit, right? Fight that dude. Get it up on there so you can, I think you can see it's way on there now. And then I'm just going to put this in and put it in here. Run my bolts in just like on the other parts. And we're good. We are good. We're ready to put that tail light lens in. And then you guys can tell me if my lights work. That'd be awesome. All right, 194 bulb goes in your side marker here. Do the same thing, little grease on there. That way we have a good connection. We know it's going to be for a long time. That silicone grease is like super, yeah, slick like silicone. So I stick the bulb in, make sure it's pushed in all the way. This is a ground, so I did go through my random bolts and I found a little star washer to make this thing ground good. We're going to put that bolt in there. Hopefully I don't drop this because there's a high likelihood that I will. Go ahead. You guys can't see the hole, but it's just like right here for this thing. If it's stripped out, go ahead and drill you a new one. They're right there, easy to get to. My technique here is going to involve tightening, loosening, wiggling, making sure that we do everything we can do to get a good connection right there. And then I'm going to bite that sucker down tight. And if you live in a corrosive environment, spray that with a little bit of paint. That'll keep oxygen from getting to it and it won't rust so bad. Then have my aftermarket light. I did go ahead and glue that gasket onto it. Pretty simple. Push in, twist there. And if you haven't already checked all your lights to make sure they work, why don't you hook that ground up, check them out, make sure you got good light. That dude fits in there really cool. Have just stainless steel screws. They go right into these little clips. I just left the clips in there when I painted the truck. I could have put new ones in, but my experience is you scratch the paint when you put your new clips on there. So one thing I can say, my aftermarket lights, I had to go back and re-glue these little stainless pieces on there because they popped off the first time I put them on. I was just glad I wasn't driving down the road when they popped off because probably never would have found them. Okay. Find your spot. There we go. And not too tight. Again, don't use an impact on these. You'll pay the price if you do. So, you can see, lights in. Now, we're going to do a little check, make sure everything works.